Thanks for inviting us in. It's 6 o'clock, and we want to begin tonight with a proposed data center in Morgan County that could expand its footprint. But as our Jenna Webster explains tonight, one resident and a county commissioner disagree about whether this is a done deal.
Well, if you're driving around Indiana, it might feel like you're seeing these signs more and more. No data center. They were all over Franklin Township. And now here in Morgan County, residents are speaking out against another planned data center.
This dream of winning the AI race, and they're just tripping over their own shoelaces to get there, putting data centers in places they don't belong, like here.
Christopher Lamberson farms nearby the planned data center site. It's just east of Monrovia. In February, Morgan County commissioners approved a rezoning request for 390 acres.
There's better business for Indiana.
He's concerned about the data center's effects on the water table and the wells he uses on his farm.
We are starting to map out where all the wells are in the immediate area, because we really think that's going to be important when they start building this thing, to show the impact that this is going to have on our well water.
His opposition, though, faces an uphill battle. Commissioner Kenny Hale calls it a done deal. He says he's pro-data center and economic development. While he understands some don't like it, he believes it's what's best for Morgan County and says people living in the county outside Monrovia support it. But there is a pending lawsuit. 2 residents filed claims saying the rezoning was arbitrary and the project goes against the county's comprehensive plan.
Our comprehensive plan, which was established by the commissioners, has a goal of protecting natural resources on there. And they've completely gone against that.
Lamberson's turning his attention to another rezoning request. On Monday, the Plan Commission will hold a special meeting to consider rezoning another 158 acres for the undisclosed data company. Like Franklin Township, with its own Google data center rezoning, residents plan to protest outside.
Well, I think it's far from a done deal. This is going to be a long-term battle if the courts don't shut it down now. The notes we're taking is basically just stay at it. Don't give up on your community. Continue to protect your community.
And he thinks what's best for the community is keeping this land agricultural. In Morgan County, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Now, this isn't the first time that we've seen communities push back against proposed data centers. This includes a proposal to build a data center at an old drive-in theater in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. Last night, neighbors were gathered to hear some more details about this proposal. And then earlier this week, we told you that Google pulled the plug on its proposal to build a data center in Franklin Township after weeks of pushback and protests. Governor Mike Braun joined us this morning on 13 Sunrise to talk about this topic.
But we need to be more careful about supporting our existing businesses, smaller businesses, which is what I had. We never got any attention. You really incentivize entrepreneurs, because that's the least expensive way to do it, a more balanced approach.
Governor Braun went on to say he plans to take a balanced approach when it comes to finding the best spots to build data centers in the future. Well, we've got some spotty rain showers out there, but Angela, for the most part, pretty nice night.
Yeah, we're in the 70s right now, Scott. 77 in Noblesville, Carmel, 78 Bunker Hill, where we have a little more sunshine. Some of those thicker, darker clouds are responsible for a few sprinkles, so don't be surprised if you're out and about this evening and you run into one of those pop-up showers. Once the sun goes down, temperatures will fall into the 60s. Scott mentioned those pop-up showers, and we'll take a close-up look of radar. We've got one little cell over Westfield, a little cell just south of Cloverdale, and a few spotty showers northern sections of Rush County. So this is north of Rushville to just north of Connorsville. This type of activity will be possible over the next several hours, and we're still close enough to the big weather system that clouds will linger along with some pockets of mist and drizzle early tomorrow. At the bus stop, I'd keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures tomorrow morning in the low 60s. Tomorrow afternoon, clouds and sun and highs in the 70s.
Angela, thanks so much. Tonight, an Indianapolis man is now charged with murder a month after allegedly killing his coworker. Our Ashton Hackman tonight shows us the security camera pictures linking the suspect to this crime.
Security camera pictures submitted as evidence show a masked man running away after gunning down 22-year-old Lorenzo Murray. Murray's coworkers pointed to 28-year-old Paris Mall as a possible suspect. Court documents say police used phone GPS data and these security pictures from the UPS site and an Indigo bus to try to prove Mall went from downtown to the parking lot leading up to the shooting. Police believe Murray and Mall had past disagreements.
These are lives that are being impacted. These are people who are going to miss weddings and graduations and time spent with their loved ones. In a situation like this, conflict resolution is key. We cannot point a firearm and pull the trigger at somebody in anger.
Paris Small had his initial hearing in court Wednesday morning. He will stay in jail until his case reaches a conclusion. His next court date is scheduled for November. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
The Indiana Parole Board voted unanimously to recommend the state deny clemency for the Indiana man who's on death row. Roy Ward is set to be executed October 10th for the rape and murder of a 15-year-old in 2001. Ward's legal team argued he could potentially feel pain during the execution, violating his 8th Amendment rights. Roy Ward's death would mark the third execution here in Indiana since our state resumed the death penalty late last year. We are set to learn what's in a report on how the Indiana Economic Development Corporation does business. This is the state agency that uses taxpayer dollars to attract new business to Indiana. Governor Mike Braun ordered an audit of the IEDC this year after he campaigned on more transparency on how this agency operates. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker has the latest for you.
Well, a report on that audit is set to be released late next week, but a spokesperson with the governor's office familiar with the report and the audit said the audit found nothing criminal when it comes to how the IEDC did business for the past 2 years. Governor Mike Braun said what the audit did do was confirm the need for more transparency and accountability when it comes to how taxpayer dollars are spent.
We have and will be implementing new internal policies and controls to ensure full transparency in the use of taxpayer dollars.
The governor didn't specify what those new internal policies would be, but did confirm one change happening with how the IEDC does business.
The Indiana Economic Development Foundation has not accepted any new contributions since April. That was another entity within the IEDC, and we are putting together a plan to wind it down.
The Indiana Economic Development Foundation is a nonprofit affiliated with the IEDC. According to its website, it raises private funds to support the IEDC's work. This past spring, Braun froze its accounts after he called for an audit of the IEDC. According to the Indiana Capital Chronicle, that freeze was partly over concerns about how the IEDC was spending some of that money on travel, meals, and entertainment as part of its work. The audit was done by FTI Consulting and began in mid-May. It looked at how the IEDC did business from January 2022 through December 2024. The governor touted his commitment to growing business in Indiana, not just by attracting large companies through the work of the IEDC, but also by prioritizing businesses on Main Street, acknowledging economic development looks different in different areas of the state, saying success would be measured in two ways: wage growth and new job opportunities for Hoosiers. The IEDC board voted to release that report to the public after a legal team has reviewed it to make sure that nothing in the report needs to be redacted for legal reasons. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Still to come on this Wednesday night, the woman who many people say saved the Pacers franchise has died at the age of 93. Still ahead, we'll take a look back at Nancy Leonard's legacy and the impact she has left behind. Angela?
Scott, highs near 80 today, and the warm weather continues in the 7-day.
And we've got the warning tonight from the Indiana Attorney General as city county councilors look to finalize our city's next public safety budget. That's next.